Pros in Motorsports, brought to you by Steph America. Let them be your business partner. MBNA America, the only credit card endorsed by NASCAR. Southland Transportation, moving on with the Move of the Week award. Detroit Gasket, since 1923, we seal the tough ones on and off the track. MGM Brakes, known worldwide in the heavy-duty truck industry as the best stop going. DG Trim Products, whether you're a GM, Ford, or Chrysler fan, passenger car, or a recreational vehicle, DG Interior Trim Products have got you covered. And now, here's Bill Cannell.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of the Pros in Motorsports. As you're watching this show on this Thursday evening, we're on an airplane. We're in flight to Loudon, New Hampshire, where we'll be live this coming Saturday night on the SportSouth Prime Sports Showcase Network, coast to coast. Join us 6:30 Eastern Time from Loudon, New Hampshire. We'll be in Victory Lane, and we will be live. 6:30, remember that, here on the Pros of Motorsports. We're glad you got on board tonight, though. We've got an exciting half hour. Going to talk about Loudon, talking about Charlotte, where we're testing, as this show was recorded before we boarded the plane to fly to Loudon. Charlotte Motor Speedway is getting ready. When we return from Loudon, we'll be here for 2 weeks. The Winston Select, the Winston Open, plus the 300-miler for the Busch cars, and the Coca-Cola 600. Under the lights qualifying, sportsman cars, legend racing. You name it, it's going to happen in the month of May, as it's doing right now here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. But get set. Coming up, the Busch Grand National Stars, after being off for a few weeks, catching up, get ready to tame Loudon, New Hampshire before they come back here to Charlotte to run their 300-miler. Coming up, some of the great stars, and I'm talking about some of the great ones that you'll see run in Loudon as well as here at Charlotte. After Darlington, there was a lot of serious emotional family moments down there. Even your dad had to leave because he couldn't hang around after you won. It was so emotional for him.
Yeah, you can throw out the window all this macho stuff about race drivers. I mean, you know, they have feelings too, including myself. I'm an emotional person at times. But, yeah, he showed a side that a lot of people normally don't see. And, you know, it made me feel good that he was that way. But, you know, anytime you can win at Darlington, it's great. You know, not only for me, but for the guys that work on the car and for our sponsors. I mean, it was just a great overall feeling. That's one race that you want on your resume when you retire.
You've got Bristol, Darlington, plus championships, and now it seems like you're back in that groove that Larry Pearson belongs in. Now, as you're serious about testing, and we're here at Charlotte, but we're on our way to Loudon, New Hampshire next. Talk about that racetrack and adjusting there and then coming right back to a super speedway.
Well, Loudon, I've only been there twice, and it's a beautiful racetrack. I mean, you know, but we're going up there to race, and we've been running good all year long. Loudon is a short track. It happens to be 1 mile long, but actually it's a short track. You get to do some rubbing and bumping a little bit up there, and it's just a great place to go. All the fans up there in New England are big race fans, and they like to see good racing. And you know, hopefully I can go up there and pull out a win. You know, Stanley is their home headquarters is in New Britain, Connecticut, which is, you know, only a couple hours away from there. So all those people will be there, and you know, I really need to go up there and win that race. Then we come back here to Charlotte, another one of my dad's favorite tracks that he's done well on. Another track where I've had to take a lot of grief from him as far as trying to pound information into my head about how to get around this place. So, hey, we could have another Darlington. We're running pretty darn good. You know, like you said, we're on a roll now, and maybe the Larry Pearson of the 1980s has come back, and we can put on a charge for him. And, you know, I'd like to win here at Charlotte also.
Larry, we know the money is big here at Charlotte. and it comes before the longest stock car race in the world, the 600, which is going to be a night timer. There's a lot of evening practice and day practice, but you're glued in on the daytime. Why so many days of serious practice here prior to running this race?
Well, for me, I mean, it's close to my home. It's even closer than Darlington, and you know, and Darlington's down in South Carolina. But you know, I'm only an hour away from the racetrack here in Charlotte. So I got a lot of people comes up. Our race is in the daytime, so I don't really find it's not beneficial to come up and practice at nighttime for me personally. You know, I want to get the weather conditions as close as what I think it will be when we have our race on Saturday, and that way I can tell more about what the car's going to do.
We talk about preparedness, and we talk about, look at the seats. Look at the new 3 and 4. I mean, turn number 4, another 7,000 to 10,000 seats, more parking, new tunnel. I mean, is there a stopping point for some of these racetracks?
I don't think so. I think NASCAR racing is getting bigger and bigger and bigger every year. I think it's been popular for a very long time, and like I said, it keeps getting more popular. We get more race fans, newer race fans. I think that's the biggest difference. I mean, the track, hardly any of the tracks can accommodate the seating that they need. You know, I mean, each race we go to, they have to turn away thousands of people because they don't have enough seats to hold them. So I think it's great. You know, as long as the purses keep coming up, going up, as long as we keep putting on good races on Saturdays and Sundays, you know, for the race fans, they'll keep coming back. And right now, hey, I'm in the middle of it, and I couldn't be more proud.
Let's jump ahead. 1996. There is no doubt, at least not in Bruton Smith's mind or anybody else's, that by the end, somewhere towards the mid-year or end of the year, 96, 97, the Busch cars are going to be in Dallas-Fort Worth at his new facility.
Hey, that's great. I'm ready for this series, you know, to expand. We're still running some of the tracks that the Busch cars, or back then was the Sportsman cars, ran on when they first got established, and that's great. You know, I mean, I don't mind that, but there has to come a stopping point where you have to say, hey, these tracks are not up to standards with what we need. I mean, Grand National racing, that's what I'm going to talk about. It has grown by leaps and bounds, and you know, we've got to step ahead. We've got to start going to facilities that want to pay the big money, that have upgraded facilities, and you know, when we go to some of these tracks, it's like a step backward for us, and this series really needs to get above that and just keep continuing and moving forward.
Do you think, I'm going to just be kind of blunt. My feelings is, here on the Pros in Motorsports, the $150,000, $180,000 purses are going to have to take a back seat to the $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 purses that are coming from places like this and Daytona and other big super speedways where you guys do perform.
Exactly, you're exactly right. I mean, we go to those tracks that pay $5,000 and $6,000 to win, and our tire bill's more than it. So I mean, but you're forced to go to those racetracks because you're running for points, and you get on the winner's circle plan. You know, those of us that are on it, you get paid to perform at each track. So you have to go. I mean, you're forced to go there. But again, I just think this series can grow more than what it's growing. I think we have like the reins or the bit in our mouth, and we're being held back just a little bit. But I think it's great that we're going to expand. Heck, I'd like to, you know, just go all over the United States and run and show the fans out there that Grand National racing, in my heart, is probably more competitive, and we put on a better show than Winston Cup.
Final question. Do you think that this is what NASCAR's long-range plans are, because we're seeing the V8s and they're trying to make you guys, bring you so much closer to being just like almost a Winston Cup car?
Well, somewhere in the back of Mr. France's mind, he's probably got a little plan figured out to get the cars just alike. And I don't know what that plan is, but he does. Every year he seems to be getting the Grand National cars closer to the Winston Cup cars, or vice versa. And, you know, you've got 60 cars now coming to Winston Cup and Busch Grand National racing. Hey, who knows? You might have one Winston Cup circuit, you know, and just do away with the Busch deal, and you'll have 120 to 150 cars at Winston Cup, or whatever they want to call it in the years to come. But there's a little plan there somewhere, I'm thinking. But it doesn't matter to me. You know, I enjoy racing. I wish we made more money. I wish we made as much as the Winston Cup guys do. Lord knows we spend just as much. But, you know, it's just great to be a part of racing. Hey, I was out 2 or 3 years and didn't have a ride, so I'm just happy to be back.
Larry Pearson on his way, along with the Pros in Motorsports, as we speak on this Thursday night to Loudon, New Hampshire. Talk a little about it. New Hampshire, Vermont, Loudon coming up.
Way up north, 16 hours from here. It's a it's a real good racetrack, really. You know, the Bear family did a hell of a job, you know, putting it together. And I remember racing at the old Loudon racetrack in the Busch North Series back about 83, 84, and we went up there last year, and ironically, everybody said, well, you're going home for the first race, and you know, you're going to have an upper hand on these guys. Well, that was the second time I saw Loudon. The first time was in a Winston Cup race. I was watching it, so it was the first time I ever experienced the thrill of going home and racing on what I call the home racetrack, Loudon, New Hampshire. And we ran real good. You know, we led for a while, finished 9th up there, and you know, I'm really looking forward to get back and see all my fans and family up there.
The adjustment over the past couple of years has been a learning stage and a tough stage on Kevin LePage and the Vermont Teddy Bear car. Vermont Teddy Bear has escalated their sales from their racing program. We all know this. So as you adjust and know how critical it is after Loudon, it's Charlotte. That's big, big bucks, any way you look at it.
Well, that's true. You know, that's why we're here today testing at Charlotte. Last year in the spring race, we didn't go fast enough, so we had to run the hooligan race. We were moving up pretty good in the hooligan race. A wreck happened in front of me. Ironically, the car that I'm running today is a car I wrecked last year. And, you know, we put it back together because we thought it was a good race car. In the fall, we wrecked in qualifying. We had a real good time going. Just got into 3 and 4 here, lost the race car and backed it in the wall. So, you know, it has been a big adjustment for me on the speedways. You know, we haven't made Daytona yet. We've been there 2 years in a row. We haven't made Atlanta yet. We've been there 2 years in a row. The speedways have been the biggest downfall, I can say, for Vermont Teddy Bear, Kevin LePage, the whole race team. And we really don't know why. I think a lot of it has to do with the setups, maybe. Maybe our motors are not what we need to be here. I'm not really sure. So what we found out in 95 is that we need to test a lot more, and that's what we're doing. That's why we're here at Charlotte testing, and hopefully when we leave here, we'll be in pretty good shape for the race.
You had one of your best runs, though, of your 2 years of really struggling at Darlington.
That's true. We finished 9th there. We started 31st. And, you know, with the new pavement and everything that was going on there, a lot of people were really hesitant, I guess. And, you know, all I've tried to do, the way we qualify is in the back, and the way I go to the front is not abnormal for me, because up north, that's the way it used to do. Fast cars used to start in the rear, and we used to have to go to the front to, you know, to win the race. So that's not new for me, is, you know, to go from the rear to the front, but it is new for me down here because the competition is so tough. The racetracks are so new to me, and, you know, Darlington, we finished 9th. It matched our best finish, which we finished 9th last year in New Hampshire, but you know, this year has been an up-and-down season. I mean, we've ran 8 races. We've qualified for only 4 of them. And, you know, that's really tough on the sponsor and the team. But it seems like every time we miss a show, we get down on ourselves, we go back, and we have a real good race. So hopefully we go home. We're going to some good racetracks of mine, which are Loudon and New Hampshire, Pennsylvania. So we think we should be in pretty good shape by the time we come back to Charlotte.
You feel like the adjustment period is about over for Kevin LePage?
Well, at Darlington, we were qualifying, and the car got sideways on me, and I saved it. So, you know, I'm getting the use of these handling of these race cars and the radial tires. So, you know, I just think by half the season this year, I should be in pretty good shape.
back here on this week's edition of the Pros in Motorsports on our way to Loudon, New Hampshire. Jason Keller, the Budget Gourmet driver, alongside Jason. Let's first talk about the Loudon run before getting ready for here in Charlotte, which is just around the bend.
I tell you, Loudon's a beautiful racetrack. It's a beautiful facility, and I'm looking forward to going back up there. We've been off for, I don't know how long has it been, 3 or 4 weeks now. I'm losing count, you know, so I had to come to this test to get back going, but we're looking forward to Loudon. We're going to go test our car for Loudon at Myrtle Beach on Monday, so we built a brand new Monte Carlo to go up there, and the time off has allowed us to get some Monte Carlos done, and hopefully we'll be a little bit stronger the second half of the season here, or the second stretch of the season, I should say, and so we can keep these guys like Larry Pearson and some of these guys, you know, behind us and see what happens.
A lot of wild action at Loudon. Seems like everything happens up there on that 1 mile racetrack.
I tell you, I've raced there a good bit and really enjoy the place. It's great, and I qualified pretty well there last year, and I'd be daggone if on the first lap I didn't get in a wreck. So I've never ran good there in a long time, so I'm really looking forward to going up there and run. I think a lot of the Cup guys are coming up there, and it makes it a big show, and all the fans up in the Northeast, they just support us coming up there, and we're looking forward to it. And I'm going up a little bit early to do some promotions and some shows so I can meet some of the Northeastern fans, because I don't get a chance to race up there much, so it's a good opportunity for me to go up and spend some time with them and promote Budget Gourmet a little bit more.
Now, for all the fans that are watching on SportSouth and Prime Sports Network all across the country, coast to coast, on this Thursday night, let's jump ahead from Loudon to Charlotte, just around the bend, and how serious all the Busch drivers are taking this event.
I tell you, you know, now the Busch guys are coming in, and we're getting more and more serious about what we're doing, and you know, we have to test. We don't come to these racetracks a lot, and especially myself and my race team, you know, we're still fairly new at this. It's a brand new Monte Carlo, so we're having to figure out what these Monte Carlos need. And the Cup guys, they've tested the Monte Carlos all winter and raced them every week, so you know, we're going to have to get tough, or we'll have to go home from here. So we want to come here and run well. It's always a huge show, you know. These guys here at Charlotte put on one well of a show, and I'm looking forward to running good. I qualified well here too in the fall race last year, and got in a wreck in practice. I'm going to have to quit wrecking these things, you know, but maybe we'll keep this car under us, and looking forward to coming up here and having a good race.
Can you believe what is happening here or down in Atlanta at another Winston Cup NASCAR Busch Series track? 18-hole golf course about to go into construction here. As a matter of fact, the place looks like it's under the entire facility under construction, but it'll be wrapped up in a couple of weeks, ready for 200,000-plus race fans to invade this place.
Oh, this is wonderful. You know, this is a show place, and I'm going to have a lot of sponsors here, and this is a place to bring them. It's a place you want to run well, and here in Daytona, and even up in Loudon, because we were talking about Loudon earlier. I mean, my sponsors based out of the Northeast, so there'll be a lot of sponsor representatives up there, and but I mean, for here, this is a racetrack. I mean, this is the granddaddy of them all, I should say, and you know, and I really want to run good here. I have a lot of family and friends here, and we're only 2 hours away from here, and our shop is, so you can't ask for a better facility. You can't ask for a better racetrack, and hopefully on Saturday we can't ask for a better race.
That's our show for this week here on the Pros in Motorsports, and I'm Bill Cannell reminding you to join us live right here on these networks from Loudon, New Hampshire, and Loudon Speedway, 6:30 Eastern Time. We'll be live Saturday night. That's just around the bend, about 48 hours from now. It's a Thursday night. You're watching our program. Eli Gold is coming up next, but we'll be live Saturday night, 6:30 from Loudon. Hope you'll join us, and we'll see you again next week here on the Pros in Motorsports.
Promotional consideration provided by Thor Products, the trailers that make hauling and storage easy on and off the road. ProCal, putting the winning touch on just about anything on and off the track. And Watery Sportswear. Go with the best. Go with what the pros in motorsports wear. Watery.
Hi, this is Bill Cannell. When it comes to transportation, our transportation with the pros in motorsports provided by Beasley Cross Chevrolet in Kannapolis. Service with a smile. When you buy a vehicle from Beasley Cross, you get the best dollar figure. You don't have to put up with the hoopla and the high prices of other dealers. Plus, service with a smile. When you take one of your vehicles in that you purchased at Beasley, you get the service. Do like the pros in motorsports. Buy and get service at Beasley Cross.
This is Kent Bernhardt reminding you to join us again next week for the Pros in Motorsports.